Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Open Central Asia Regional Interest Community. My name is Yerkin Abduraimov, and I'm going to be your host today. I am not alone. I am with my colleague behind the scene, Nodra Kushpakova from Uzbekistan. She will be moderating the chat box and will be facilitating Q&A session at the end of this webinar. Okay, welcome to Cascade Learning Series. Today is our presenter, Rukhshona Usmonova from Tajikistan. She will be cascading the learning, the knowledge from the American English Live Series 24.3 about American poets into performance. First of all, let me introduce our presenter, Rukhshona Usmonova, is an experienced English language teacher and a candidate of philological sciences with a strong academic and professional background in linguistics and language education. She is a participant in the ETM program 2025, which had further enhanced her teaching skills and broadened her exposure to modern educational methodologies. Welcome, Rukhshona. Thanks for contributing to our community.
I think we should ask...
Rukhshona, unmute yourself, please. Unmute.
Okay, yes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Yerkin and Nodira, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to lead my webinar here with you. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And as you have mentioned, I am Usmonova Rukhshona from Khujan State University, Tajikistan, and I'm very grateful for Open Central Asia RIC and especially for Yerkin Abduraimov for making this webinar possible. Yes, and today I hope that my dear colleagues will help me by being active and by supporting me. Today we are going to speak about a very interesting theme about poetry, American poetry, and how we use them in our classes. Before we start speaking about poetry, I want to remind the rule of our webinars. Yes, dear teachers, dear colleagues, if you want to add something, you can unmute yourself and add everything you want. And of course, if you have questions, write your question in our chat box, and I'll try to answer all your questions in our Q&A part of our webinars. And today I want to show you how to make poetry not only understandable, but also how to say alive through performance. And Yerkin, can you share
yeah, please.
Presentation?
Just a second, please. Okay, can you see?
No, I can't.
No,
but I don't know about others.
Yeah, it's being loaded.
Yerkin. Dear colleagues, we are so sorry for the inconvenience. Rukhshona, could you
Yes.
please unmute yourself?
Yes, yes, of course, Notila. I'm here and I'm waiting for the screen.
Yeah, something wrong with the internet, I think.
Yes, I think about low internet connection. Okay, and I think that I can start now. Yes?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your patience. Our session is being recorded, so if you don't want to be seen on the recording, please have your cameras off. It's up to you. It's optional, but it's encouraged. Thank you.
And now I am happy again that we go through all difficulties and we can continue our webinar today, or I can say that I can start, yes, to lead today's webinars. Yes, and as I have mentioned before, today I'm going to show you how to make poetry not only understandable, but also alive through performance. And before we dive into a very interesting and engaging world of poetry, performance, and poems, I want to ask questions for everyone. Please, next slide, Yerkin. I want to ask you, have you ever used poetry in your English language classes? If so, what poets did you choose? What activities did you do?
Yes, these are great questions. Dear participants, please share your ideas in the chat box, or you can raise your virtual hand to speak.
If you have never used poetry, you can write the reason. Why haven't you tried it before?
Can I express my opinion, please? Okay. Can I speak?
Yes, of course, Parina.
Okay. Hello, everyone, dear colleagues and friends, dear presenter and organizers. So, yeah, I like poetry a lot, and I like literature a lot. And in my classes, I usually, if we have the classes of literature, and we ask students to learn by heart the poetry, and the easiest one belong to, of course, Shakespeare, his sonnets, and then we also ask them to learn by heart the poems from George Gordon Byron and Robert Burns and other poets also. From American poets, we also, I remember us learning by heart the Negro in the Dismal Swamp and other poets. So, and I also sometimes use haiku. It is a kind of Japanese style of poetry. It consists of 3 lines. The first line consists of 5 syllables, the second 7, and the third also 5 syllables. It is very funny, and it's not the poetry that we are used to. It doesn't have a kind of like rhymes, but it has a rhythm, and students like it a lot, and it improves
Any responses in the chat
motivation.
box, Nadra?
Thank you.
Thank you, Parvina, for your responses, for your answer.
Can I share too, Rukhshona? Dear Rukhshona,
Yes, of
hello.
course.
Good evening. Good evening, dear colleagues, or dear Rukhshona. I can share another another experience. Actually, instead of teaching a literature, I just have tried to use poetry in my grammar class. It was so interesting. The poem was about the hammer, and my topic was devoted to the conditional, and it was like this. If I had hammer, I would hammer everything like this one. It was so interesting for students and for me too. And in this poetry consists of the rules of conditional, and showed so just in right way and in attractive way the conditional rules for students. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nigorahon. And what about others? Do you want to add something?
Shall I share something about the poems?
Of course,
Exactly. Exactly. I have never used poems in my lessons, but when I started my career with teaching, and I taught phonetics. In phonetic lessons, I have used poems, but not to analyze the meaning of the poems, only for correct pronunciation. We practiced it for pronunciation and how to make our speaking clear and our pronunciation more perfect, not for analyzing the meaning of the poems. Thank you.
May I share, Miss?
Yes, of course, Zaranges.
I use many scripts written by poets for performances, but not poetry itself. I know that in the past, like Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, they often wrote works in poetic form for performance, but I use scripts instead. I have never used poetry.
Mm-hmm. It means that you have never used poetry to perform it, yes?
Yes, but I use scripts of this because we can make it script. It's, I think it's easy to make it their level and use scripts instead, because their works, some of them old version of English, yes, and it's a little bit difficult for students like Hamlet and Romeo and Juliet. When you read the real poetry, it's a little bit difficult and has a little bit difficult words to memorize, and I made them script and gave them to my students in order to perform, and I saw that it was easy for them to learn by heart scripts.
Yes. Okay, thank you, dear teachers, for your responses. And we can see that poems can be used for grammar, for phonetics, yes, to learn by heart. And you know that they also help our students to improve their writing, speaking, and listening skills, of course. And today I want to show you that poetry is not something boring, yes, performance. It is something very engaging and interesting. We can use a lot of interesting activities during classes using the poetry. Can you share the next slide, please? And In today's session, we will discuss about the benefits and challenges of performing poetry in the classroom, about the preparation needed to perform poetry, and about the extension activities used in class with the poetry. The next slide, please. And before we start to speak about the benefits of performing, we should know what is poetry or poem performance. Poetry performance, it's not only about reading aloud. Yes, it is about reading with emotion. It's about reading with deep understanding. It's about reading the poem sometimes with movement. When students perform a poetry, they really feel the meaning of the sentence. They really understand emotions, and they have a deep connection with the text of the poem. Instead of asking students just to read aloud the poem, we can invite them to feel the poem. We can invite them to experience the poem. And there are some benefits, yes. And the first benefit is it helps improve their pronunciation and intonation, and also it helps them to improve their speaking skills. When students perform poetry loud, they practice stress, they practice intonation, they practice clearly or clear articulation, and it helps them to improve their pronunciation and intonation. And it's very, very important, especially in learning language. The next benefit is building confidence. Here we can also add about public speaking skills. Yes, standing in front of their classmates and performing encourage students overcome shyness and overcome fear. And moreover, over time, they become more confident expressing themselves in front of the audience. And the next one, the other benefit is it helps develop creativity and imagination of students. You know that poetry allows students to think. It allows students to experience with their voice. It allows students to experience with their emotions. It allows students to experience their, for example, facial expression, yes? And they learn how to understand the poem and how to show, how to perform it in their own unique way. And that's why poetry is very good to improve their critical thinking too. Now the next slide, Yerkin, and it's again your turn. I hope that you remember benefits, yes? And my question is, which of these benefits is most important in your classroom and why? You can write in chat box using one of them, yes? Which of these benefits is most important in your classroom? Pronunciation, or maybe
please, dear participants, share your make your choice. And you even you can add some explanation to it.
Yes, of course. You know that for some students, it's very important that students pronounce all the words correctly, yes? But for some of them, it's very important to develop their critical thinking, yes? And all these options can be found in poetry. Okay.
May I?
Can we see? Yes, of course, Dinosa.
I think pronunciation is an important part of using poetry in my English lessons. Poems help students hear and practice the natural sounds. I choose pronunciation. It's my own opinion.
Yes, it's perfect because yes, in poetry we can really feel the language. Yes, we can really feel the language, the culture, and it helps pronounce better, beautifully,
May I say,
more
Rukhshona?
clearly. Yes, Zaranges, sorry.
As I wrote in our chat, that all of them are connected with each other, and they are all very important for students to feel confidence, to build critical thinking, or to, as you mentioned, and build confidence and improve their pronunciation. And when they do it, all of these skills will improve automatically, because they will, when they listen to each other, they will improve their listening skills. When they write, when they look, when they are visual learners, when they see this poem, they will remember how to write the correct words, and it improves their writing skills. When they read and pronounce it, it will improve their speaking skills. Yes, and like this, all the skills will be improved, and they feel confidence, because they will, as you mentioned, they will speak in a public. First they speak before their classmates, and next it will improve the speaking skills, and they can speak before a big audience. And from this, from the school, school years, we can prepare them for the future, that
Yes,
these,
of course.
such kind of when they will learn poems, when they learn, they will not forget, especially when they perform it. And
Yes.
all of them are connected to each other, and they are very, very useful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your responses. The next slide, Yerkin, please. Okay, when if we talked about benefits, unfortunately, we should talk about challenges. Yes, we can face some challenges while performing poetry. And the first is some students feel shy or afraid to perform. We know, yes, that students, they are nervous to speak in front of others. Yes, and they may feel embarrassed or afraid, and they automatically start speaking with very quietly, or refuse to speak at all. And it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem for teachers, and that's why teachers should create a friendly and safe atmosphere for all the students. Another challenge is that some poems have difficult vocabulary. As some of you, or I think Zaranges has mentioned before, there are a lot of unknown or sometimes even unusual vocabulary, yes, in poems, and it makes poems difficult for students to understand. And that's why before they started to read or to perform the poetry, teachers should explain, should translate, or maybe should give definition of these new words. Another problem, another challenge is sometimes we don't have enough time. You know that performing poetry takes time. Students need to read the text, to read the poem. They need to understand the poem. They need to feel the poem. They need to practice the poem, and then they need to perform the poem. And unfortunately, sometimes we have no enough time to every students to act to perform the poetry. And the last challenge is classes often have mixed levels. Yes, we know that we have different level students in our classroom. Some of them are very strong with maybe advanced level, and some of them have beginner level, and it's very difficult to find suitable poems for all of them, and it's a huge challenge again for all the teachers. The next slide. And again, a short question: which challenges do you personally face when teaching poetry? You can write your answers on chat box.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the question, Rukhshona. Yes, please, dear participants, share your experiences in the chat box, or you can raise your virtual hand to speak.
Yes.
Okay, can I share?
Yes, of course, Nigorkhan.
Thank you for your question, first of all. And just I would like to say that our students maybe just all these points are combining in one student, because some of them just shy and afraid of your unconfidence. See, yeah, and another students just there is no enough vocabulary to speak or to maybe just hard to share the opinion. And a lot of just challenges and difficulties are facing just hard to our students nowadays. And of course, it's awful because of just in our modern time. Yes, students, I think, of course, it's my mind that they just are able to be more confident and more to get be more fluent, yes, in speaking especially English language. Why? Because nowadays we are living, yes, in high communication, yes, just if I can say so, of course, just in high technology, yes, by modern world. They have a lot of just opportunity, yes, to get to be fluent or to get fluency. Of course, in any language, but in English, there are a lot of opportunity and just a wide range, yes, of videos, of classes, yes, because I think they just how to say, just they should try, yes, only try and the hard work, but all just difficult challenges you mentioned, of course, we are watching in our students and they faced just to these challenges. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nigora Khan, for your answer. Of course, I think that all of teachers, yes, many teachers, they have these students, mixed students or shy students, and of course we can work with them, and if we want to go through these challenges, we should follow some steps. We should prepare our students for performance. It means that our students should be prepared to perform the poem. Yerkin, please, the next slide. And here I try to show some steps of preparation, steps that we need to prepare our students for performance. The first step is choose a suitable poem. Dear teachers, remember that students don't like to work with long poems. Yes, they feel more confident and less stressed working with short and clear poems. And of course, all the poems should be matched with the student's level. And remember that the best poem is one that students can understand with a little help. The step number 2 is understanding the meaning of the poem. As I mentioned before, and others mentioned, that sometimes poems have a difficult or unusual or sometimes unknown words. And of course, teachers should explain these words with another words. It means to give definition or can translate them. And after it, the teacher can give them time to read the poem again and then ask them a simple questions in order to check their understanding. For example, questions like, what is the poem about? Yes, what is the main idea of the poem? Or what feelings do the poem express? And so on. And step number 3, focus on pronunciation. In this stage, our students, they learn how to say the poem beautifully and clearly. Yes, they practice pronunciation, they practice intonation, they practice word stress or also sentence stress, they practice linking. Yes, they focus on pronunciation. And the 4th step, the next slide please, Yerkin, and the 4th step is practice. Before performing,
we have question, Rukhshona. I'm so sorry. Yes,
Sorry.
from Shahnozaxon Mirzazadeh.
You can keep questions for the Q&A session, Nadra.
Yes. What should I do if my
you can
students
keep the questions
refuse?
for the Q&A session, Nadra.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Q&A session, 10 minutes.
Okay. And step number 4, before performing, they should practice. You know, the students can practice alone themselves. Yes, they feel more confident and it helps them to learn poem better. They can practice in pairs. It means that students can correct each other. They can give little feedbacks or simple feedbacks to each other, or they can perform in groups. It can make practice more fun and engaging for them, and also then they can correct them each others and help each others. And the last, the 5th step is performing. In this stage, in this step, they are ready to perform. They are ready to share their emotions and feelings. You know, that they can use everything. They can use their intonation, they can use their voice, they can use, for example, gestures. Yes, they can use their facial expression. They can show sadness, they can show happiness, smiling. They can smile, even they can laugh. And also about eye contact. Yes, eye contact. Students look at the audience, not only in their paper. Yes, it helps them feel more confident and keeps the audience interested. And all of these 5 steps are very important for our students to be prepared for the performance. And the next slide. What do you think? What is the most important step in preparation? Which step is more important? The choose a poem, understanding the meaning, focus on pronunciation, practice, or performance? Write on in our chat box only one of them. You can write step 1, step 2.
Thank you. Yeah,
yes.
Thank you. Okay, I have. Let me share my opinion, Rukhshona. Yeah, for me, it's understanding the meaning, because sometimes, you know, it's difficult to understand the poems because of the literary speech. So it is sometimes they use different kind of like similes, or they can use some pun. I mean, the literary techniques. So, and it is difficult to understand these literary techniques. So I think the most, for me, the most important step is understanding the meaning. Thank you.
Yes, and I think that without understanding the meaning, it's very difficult to perform, yes, the poem in correct way. Okay,
Rukhshona,
and yes,
can I share my opinion?
yes, of
Each
course, Zebahan.
steps, thank you. Each steps are connected with each other actually. But yes, as Erkin told, understanding the meaning is one of the main steps. And if this the third step also is also to my mind very important, because if we focus on pronunciation, yes, put stresses properly, and then we understand the meaning properly. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Zebahan. And can you share the next slide, Yerkin? And when I was preparing my presentation, I wanted to go through all the steps together, yes, and I have chosen Maya Angelou's poem, Still I Rise. She is a famous American poet, writer, and speaker. She was born in 1928 in the USA and became one of the most important voices in American literature. She had a difficult childhood. She worked many different jobs. She became a writer and civil rights activist, and she spoke about freedom and equality. And I have chosen her poem, Still I Rise. Can you share another slide, Yerkin? Now, dear participants, imagine that you are students and I, as a teacher, share this paper with you. In this paper, you can see a poem, yes? A poem, Still I Rise. Okay, your task is only to read this poem. And you know that after taking the list students try to read it, but they start to read it without any emotions, yes, without any pronunciation, stress, and so on. They just read all the poem as a simple sentence. Okay, who is eager to read this poem without any pronunciation or intonation? Sorry, only to read. Who is eager?
Okay, let me read.
Okay.
Okay, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes? Shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Yerkin. And please next slide. And after giving this poem for my students, or for your students, you should find out some new or unknown words and try to explain them. For example, here I mentioned both head and weaken. It's maybe both head it when you here is an explanation or definition when you lower your head because of sadness, respect, or shame, or weaken, made less strong or become less strong. After the explanation of new words, I give time for students to read it one more again, yes, in order to understand it better. And after it, I ask questions. Dear students, dear participants, or dear virtual students, what do you think? What is this text about? What is this poem about? Can you share your ideas?
About feeling.
About feeling, but what kind of feelings?
In spite of all her difficulties, she never gives up. And
yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a poem about a very strong woman. Yes.
Yes, Rukhshona, right here.
And of course, you can also ask other simple questions to tell you the main idea of the poem and so on, and it helps you to check their understanding. And
Maybe
then
it's about not giving up.
What?
Not giving up.
Yes, it's about never give up. Yes. And after it, we can go on to another step. The next slide, please. It's about practicing pronunciation. Yes, it's about word stress. First of all, we should explain what is word stress. Word stress means that one syllable in a word is stronger. And here I also bring some examples from the poem. Here we can see the word broken. The stress is on bro, or here also hatefulness, the stress is on hate. It means that these stress syllables are pronounced longer, louder, and clearly. And the next we should speak about sentence stress. Can you share with the next slide? And what is a sentence stress? Sentence stress, we show the words, we stress the words which are important, which are main words of this sentence, which share the main emotion and main idea of the text. For example, in first sentence, you can see the words want, see, and broken. They are stressed because they share the emotion, the main idea of this sentence. For example, want, it shows my desire, yes, and broken, here the word see is my action, yes, and broken, it is my emotions, yes, or my feeling, and so on. And also you can see other sentences are also in other sentences, also stressed words here. Yes, you can see them. And the next slide, we will talk about pauses. Yes, about stops. Here, here you can see the long stop, the long pauses, and short pauses. Yes, for example, did you want to see me broken? Here we have a long pause. Both head, short pause, and then lowered the eyes, and all again long stop, long pauses. Yes, and of course you can practice it. You should practice it with your students. And then the next slide, please. You can speak about intonation. Yes, you can practice intonation with them, where, for example, about rising tone or rising voice, or maybe falling tone. Here also you can see examples of this poem. Did you want to see me broken? Here rising tone, because it's question and it sounds emotionally, yes, and challenging. Or another one, for example, shoulder falling down like teardrops. Here it is falling tone because we want to show our sadness, yes. And of course, you can practice it. You should practice all of these with your students. And the last one is about linking. Yes, how to pronounce, how to read the sentences correctly. Please, the next slide. Here also I bring some examples for linking. Yerkin, can you share the next slide? I think Yerkin. Yes, here again, yes, did you want to see me? Here you can explain that the previous one, please.
This slide or previous? This one?
Go back, please.
Yes, here. D plus Y, it sounds like G, yes. And it's pronounced not did you, but did you. And also T plus T becomes softer. Or here you can see another one, lowered eyes. It's again D plus vowel I connects, and it's a sound like a one word. Here you can see lowered eyes, and so on. You can practice all of them, yes, together with your students. And after it, you let your students to practice the performance themselves. The next slide, please. Here you can see they can practice in groups. As I've mentioned, they can practice in pair, and also they can practice alone. And you know, when I was preparing this presentation, I have chosen this poem, and I was so happy when I found the original, yes, the original performance of this poetry. I have found a video where the author is performing her poem herself. Yes, and now I want to share this video with you. Let's watch this video, and then we'll try to discuss about how she shares with emotions. Yerkin, can you share? Can you show the video, please? You know, in this video, you can see that she is performing her poem, yes, perfectly.
Did you want to see me broken?
Can you see?
No, we can only hear it.
Oh, really?
Now it's downloading.
Now, can you see? No?
Okay, try again, please.
On the background screen.
Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just because I laugh, as if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words, you can cut me with your lies, you can kill me with your hatefulness, but just like life, all right.
Okay, thank you. I don't know what about others, but I can't see, but I can hear it. Yes, I could hear it. And what about others?
We could hear it. It's beautifully
I have heard it.
recited.
Yes, we only can hear
Yeah,
it,
we
but
are
I
able
think
to hear too.
yes, but I think that it is enough, yes, to
But it's
feel
not
her emotions.
invisible, but yeah.
I think that it is enough to feel her emotion. Yes, I think that we can feel her emotion. She smiled, yes, even she laughed, and if we can see the video, we can see how she expresses her emotions through her face. She is showing her sadness. Yes, she showing her happiness in the end when she say I'll rise. Yes, she show his finger like this, finger raise, yes, and she show her happiness. In this video, she performed this poetry with her facial expression, with her gestures, with her body, and it's amazing. And but you know,
let me share one more time.
Okay, let's try it again.
Where is it? I think here. Can you see?
You want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes.
No.
Shoulders falling down like teardrops.
No,
Weak
unfortunately.
and soul so crying. Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just because I laugh, as if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard.
No, can you see it?
Not yet.
No, yet. Not yet. Okay, I think that, yes, we could fill
Can you see my screen?
It's going.
No yet.
No. If you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soul so crying.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we can see maybe at the end of our webinar, it will be able, yes, we be able to see it, but even without
Sorry, dear Rukhshona, can I ask a question?
Okay.
During we are waiting. Okay,
yes.
I'm interesting. In your mind, just reading, yes, the poem by the teacher way or by the teachers, or is it good just reading the poem by the teacher, or just
Okay, shall I share the screen of your presentation?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
No, Nigora Khan, you know that performing poetry is not about reading. Yes, I want to continue with it because you have heard her, yes, and it's very, very difficult to read it like she did. Yes, it's right now. It's difficult not only for students, but it's also very difficult to read like she did for teachers. And that's why now I want to share some activities. I want to show that when we are talking about poetry performance, it's not only about reading the text. It's not only about reading the poem with some intonation or feelings. It's about acting, and it's about performing this poem. And now, if you can share other screen, yes, other slide, I would some activities, yes, some activities which helps us to.
Can you see the screen? No?
No, I can't. No, I can't see the screen. No.
No, now you can see.
Activities which helps our students to improve their writing and speaking skills. You know, and the first activity is to continue and perform the poem.
Okay, Rukhshona, sorry for interrupting you.
Yes, poetry.
Sorry for interrupting you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have sent the video in the chat box.
Okay, thank you, Yerkin. Thank you, and I now about poetry extension activities. You know that we can use a lot to improve our students' writing and speaking skills. The first is continue and perform the poem. We have our own short poem, yes, we have chosen before. And then we ask students to continue the poem and then to perform it. What the students need to do? First of all, they read the poem. They understand the meaning. They understand the style of the poem. And then they try to add 2 or 4 lines, yes? And then they try to perform their own, or we can say their new poems. This activity helps our students to improve their writing skills. Another activity is create and perform a dialogue. Students read the text, poem, and then they turn this poem into a dialogue. No, then the previous one, Yerkin. They turn the poem they read into a dialogue, into a conversation. They can add some characters, for example, I, you, she, or someone else, yes? And after writing a conversation, they can act. Of course, they should create a conversation based on poem. They should keep the main idea of the poem. The next is create and perform a play. Based on the poem, students can create their own play. They can how to say, they can divide the roles between each other. Yes, they can add action and simple scripts. They can use they can add some emotions, and then they perform the poem again. And of course, the last one, create and perform a story. Students try to turn the poem into a story. Of course, they can add their own events. They can add some places. They can add some characters in order to make the story interesting. Yes, but all this they do based on the poem, yes, based on the poems. And also it helps to improve their writing skills, and especially their critical thinking. And the next activity, can you share the next slide, Yerkin, is After writing, yes, you ask the students write a short story based on the poem. And no, sorry. First of all, you divide your class, your students into groups, and then ask them to write a short story based on the poem. And then the students share their text to each other. It means they exchange them. And now other students, the students of another group, they should interpret the story and to perform it. It means that we may have 4 different stories based on one poem, and we can have 4 different plays, 4 different plays, yes. And of course, it also helps students to improve their writing, reading, and speaking skills. And another activity is also, if you know that your students like creativity and they are ready to do everything you ask, you can ask your students to make a film, yes, and make or record a short story based on this poem and show it for their course mates. And also you can ask students to prepare some question based on the poem and share with each other. And you can see that performing poetry is not only about reading it aloud with emotion, yes? It's about making our classes more interesting, yes, and engaging. I think that using all these activities, you can make your students love poems and love poetry. And I want you spend 10 minutes preparing and performing story with your class this week. Try it, and I'm sure that you will love it. And the last question for is what ideas you can write in our chat box, or you can unmute yourself. Which of these activities or ideas you are ready to try with your students?
Wow, thank you, dear Rukhshona. It was a great cascading learning from American Life webinars. So yeah, please, your best, the activity you liked best. Could you please share in the chat box?
Yes, story making. Yes, Rafruzoda Zepokhon. Yes, add their own lines to a poem. Pronunciation. Yes. And I hope that you will try some of them, and don't be afraid of using poems. Yes, you should. It's easier to use the poems of modern, yes, American writers. If you want to find yes, poetry, you can use British Council or Poetry for Kids. It's for level A1 or A2, or also sidepoets.org. It's for elementary students. And thank you. That's all. And I'm ready to answer your questions, if any.
Oh, thank you so much, Rukhshona. You have done a great job by cascading the learning. So it was really, it was interesting to hear you and how you are sharing your experience you learned from the American English live series webinars. So, dear participants, please, if you have any questions, Nadra, do we have any questions in the chat box to address to the speaker?
Yes, we have missed the questions here. And the question from Rukhshona, she asked that, what should I do?
Dear participants, could you please mute yourself? Thank you.
What should I do if my students refuse to perform?
Yes, you know that I've mentioned before, thank you for your question, students, they are afraid, yes, of performing or of speaking in front of other students. And as I've mentioned before, first of all, try to create safe and friendly atmosphere, and then never ask the students, please, you start. No, first of all, ask for volunteers. Who wants? First of all, ask who want to be a volunteer, who wants to be the first, and then after it, try to prize them. Yes, and say some words like it was great, and for others, you see she did or he did it, and of course you can do it. Try to prize them, and also let them to perform first in a small group, and then let them to perform in front of a huge or in front of other audience.
Okay, thank you so much. Do we have any questions, Nadra?
The question from Tahmina: what should we do if students don't understand the meaning of the poem?
Okay, if the students don't understand or cannot understand the meaning of the poem, of course, first of all, try to understand why. If they have problems with some unknown words, try to translate, help them to translate or give some definition of these words. And then never read the text, the whole poem at once. Yes, try to break the poem into small parts. For example, read the 1 or 2 lines, discuss it, try to understand, yes, and then move on. And step by step, it will be easier for them to understand the text.
Okay, thank you so much, Rukhshona, for answering the question. Do we have other questions, Nadra?
So far not, but a lot of appreciation and from our colleagues, and the question has just come from Shahina. What should we do as a teacher when didn't understand some words from poem in front of students?
Yeah. Okay, if the teachers can't understand, yes?
Yes.
Yes, you know that when we talked about preparation, yes, for the performance, for the poetry, I want to say that performing poetry, it needs, the teachers should be prepared before the students, yes? When we are working with poems, after choosing the poem, of course, first of all, we should read it before. Yes, first of all, we should read it. And before we take this poem to our students, after reading, while choosing, yes, while choosing the stand, and if we let them using it, it's about a deep preparation before it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 2-3 questions. That's enough for the Q&A session. If you have any questions for our presenter, you can ask these questions under the post we are going to do under the recording on our Facebook page, in our YouTube channel, or on our Instagram channel. Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Rukhshona, for delivering such a great presentation for Cascading Learning, learned from the American English Live series. We wish you all the best. You have done a great job. One of our active participants of our webinars, Rukhshona Usmonova from Tajikistan. Thank you so much, Rukhshona. Rukhshona, you can still be with us. We will reach out to you shortly to hand out your certificate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rukhshona. Thank you, dear colleagues, for the active participation.
For now, let me announce some webinars, upcoming webinars. Okay, our next webinar on April 15. If you get bored learning from American English Live series alone, please join our viewing party. It is going to be on April 15, 5 p.m. Tashkent time, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Our next webinar is in the special webinar segment. Our speaker is Dr. Delafrou Sarimsakova from Uzbekistan. She will be talking on the topic of Beyond the Classroom Professional Development Opportunities for Educators. The event is going to be on April 17, 7 p.m. Tashkent time. Our next webinar in the Voices of Leadership, and our presenter is Amira Halileh, originally from Egypt and based in the USA. She will be speaking on the topic of leading across cultures, building inclusive and impactful TESOL communities. The event is going to be on April 20, 7 p.m. Tashkent time. Our next webinar is in the Celebrating America 250. The speaker is Sarvanaz Irgasheva from Uzbekistan. She will be talking on the topic of how the US supports children with autism, ABA therapy, and the culture of inclusion. The event is going to be on April 27, 7 p.m. Tashkent time. And our webinar is in the Alumni Connect segment. Our speaker is Tunukay Pazilova from Kyrgyzstan. She will be speaking on the topic of integrating critical thinking in the English classroom. The event is going to be on April 24, 7 p.m. Tashkent time. Please join these webinars. We will look forward to seeing you there. And if you want to be a part of our growing community, please join our Facebook page, YouTube channel, Instagram page by scanning these QR codes.
Mr. Abdrimov, can I ask a question? Hello, are you hearing me?
Thank you so much, dear participants, for attending our webinars. Thank you so much, Rukhshona, for delivering such a great presentation. We wish you all the best.
Mr. Erkin, can I ask a question?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Instead of Facebook page, can I just find the links? Yes, you shared about the webinars in any other place.
Again, sorry. Do you like me to share the link to our Facebook
yes
page?
In any other place, because unfortunately I haven't had a page, Facebook page, and today I just can leave the webinars.
Yes.
Because of
you mean the link, the Zoom link to our webinars, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you
Announcement
can.
and links. Yeah.
You
Yes.
can join. You can join. Where are you from?
From Tajikistan.
Tajikistan. Are you EWB member?
Oh my. Oh yeah.
Yes. Then we are sharing there in their in their Telegram account. In their Telegram account.
Telegram.
Are you there?
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. We always
All right,
share there because yeah.
Yerkin, maybe then you will create the chat for all 5 republics of Central Asia.
Yeah, thank you, Zamzagul. Thank you.
Because
Yes,
I only learn, and I'm very happy that I'm in your chat, and I can see the links, and then I share with my students from my university, maybe to my colleagues. So, and maybe other my colleagues from other republics, if they want to have such opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much. As maybe someone don't know, we are doing this project on a voluntary basis. So your warm words, your words of appreciation, really energize us and really keeps us moving. You know, so thanks for your words of appreciation. Thanks for attending our webinars. You are doing great job. You are doing a favor for us by attending our webinars. Yes, any question? Nigar, would you like to ask a question?
No, I'm already